You asked for me. Here I am.
You want to help me?
Is there anything you remember?
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, Thaddeus Ross.
Whatever this is, Cap, be careful.
Hey, panelists, welcome back to the show. I'm Mark.
And I'm Robert.
And this is going to be a spoiler-full podcast about our first viewing of Captain America: Brave New World that just came out in the theaters in 2025. So right now we're recording this on Valentine's Day of all days. It's Friday the 14th. Anyhow, the movie has come out. A lot of people are anticipating it. We were anticipating it. I had off the day, so I decided to go definitely in the morning for a matinee version at an AMC movie theater to go see it. And Rob, you saw it the night before, an opening night.
Correct. I saw it in it was opening night. You know, the theater was kind of full, I would say. You know,
Yeah.
not like, pack, but it, there was a showing.
All right, cool. So there's been a lot of ups and downs about this movie when it first was presented. A lot of people were anticipating it. I was anticipating it because honestly, I always love like Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson. So I love the idea of a human Captain America, what is this is presenting, because we already had Captain America and the Winter Soldier on Disney Plus, and it's been so long since we had that show, and now we have it as a movie where Sam is playing the likes of Captain America without any powers, without the serum, super soldier serum, and the struggles that goes along with that. And then on top of that, we get a cool sidekick with the new Falcon in it too,
Right.
which I really do enjoy, because we all remember that from the last Sam Wilson outing, and that would be from the Falcon in the Winter Soldier show itself. That would be Torres, as I remember. And he takes on that mantle, and he gets to actually wear the costume too. It's not vibranium based, but it's pretty cool. And we get to see the duality with that. We get Isaiah Bradley back, which was reintroduced to us from the which would be Captain America in the Winter Soldier series. And
Right.
I really did enjoy that. I loved seeing Carl Lumley back as Isaiah Bradley, and he was the first Captain America, technically, if you think about it, after Steve Rogers, with all the torturing and everything that the U.S. government was doing. So I love that we get these characters back. To give you guys a bit of a brief synopsis of the actual movie itself. Sam Wilson, the new Captain America, finds himself in the middle of an international incident and must discover the motive behind a nefarious global plan. So basically, literally taking off where we left off with, I would say, Captain America and the Winter Soldier, because there was a lot of espionage, a lot of revenge tactics within this particular movie.
Right.
And a lot of it goes back to the Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton. And on top of that, where we left off with, let's say, of all movies, The Eternals, because it centers around
It centers around Tiamat.
Tiamat. Yeah. So, and then we get introduced to a lot of things which are interesting. So, as we all know, Harrison Ford reprises or takes on. I can't say reprises. Takes on the role of Thaddeus Ross, which is now president, which was previously done by John Hurt. And we lost John Hurt, and he now he's taking on this role. They shave his mustache, so it's like, oh, that's their way. It's like, oh, he shaved his mustache. But we do see pictures of him with the mustache, obviously, throughout the movie, which is pretty cool.
I don't recall that, but you
really? You don't remember that?
No, I don't recall that. I mean,
they have like previously in the back, and he mentions it, but they have older, like for his takes on what happened in Harlem, and he had the mustache, and then they had news footage that they had
okay,
that recreated.
I just don't recall that. I mean, but then again, I mean, yeah, no, yeah, I don't recall that. So
it's like, I refuse to recall that, everybody.
No, just I don't know, for some reason I don't recall that, but yeah, no, it was funny because that, from what I heard two different things. I heard one, yeah, the one of the reasons that they had him shave the mustache is because if you think about it, no sitting president since I think Theodore Roosevelt or something like that had a mustache.
That is true.
Right. And so that's one. And two, Harrison Ford did not want to wear a mustache.
So they made him wear it in flashbacks. Obviously, all you listeners, go back, watch it again. Give Marvel their money. I'm not saying to give it to them, but if you want, there's some of us that will actually go through it and go watch it again. This is one of those movies where I wouldn't say it was so bad I wouldn't sit through it again. I would actually sit through it again if it was a $10 day to go see a movie, because how much movies cost nowadays just to go see it. It could, I went at a matinee. And a matinee at the AMC theater where I went to at 11 a.m. cost me $16.
Okay.
So that was cheap. And it was IMAX 3D.
You saw it in 3D?
Yeah.
Really? I didn't realize they still had that.
Yep. They had it at the and I'll say this flat out, everybody. Yeah, I saw it at the IMAX 3D at the AMC theater in Danbury, Connecticut, at the AMC Lowe's. So yeah, it was $16 that morning at 11 a.m. this morning.
No, I saw it in the Dolby Theater.
Okay.
And me, I mean, since I watch a lot of movies, I have the AMC Pass that I pay for every month.
Okay.
So for me, going to IMAX or Atmos, or the Dolby Theater, it costs the same. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, it like I said, it was a good showing. The sound quality was pretty good, visuals were pretty good as always with Dolby Theater, so I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and I was quite taken with the way it was started off. Wasn't your traditional? Didn't have its traditional Marvel fanfare in this particular movie.
It didn't. Okay, so here's the thing.
Okay, go ahead.
Right, so I was 2 minutes late, and then I said, well, trailers are going on. Mm-hmm. So I go and get myself some popcorn. Yeah. I go into the theater, and the damn movie is already playing. I was like, wait a minute. Is this... did they start playing early, or did they just never finish the other movie? And I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I went back out, went back in, and I'm like, what's going on? So I go sit, and I asked the person next to me, I was like, did they start the movie? Like, did they play any trailers? And it was a girl, and she goes, no trailers at all. It just started at 8 o'clock. I went at 6 o'clock. So it was like at 6 o'clock. So I missed about 8 minutes of the movie in the beginning.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Yeah, I had literally showed up because I thought, I thought the same thing. I thought, oh, wait, there's going to be like a good 15 minutes of trailers, blah, blah, blah. I'm good. I'm golden. I literally got to the AMC theater this morning because I had some errands I had to do. I show up and literally it's exactly 2 minutes to 11. I show up, I get the popcorn and my soda and everything, have my ticket. I was like, my app was killing me on Fandango because I could get it and I get discounts. I was like, what's going on here? Arr! As I was driving, finally get there. I'm able to get a ticket. I'm thinking, great, I'm not going to get a seat that I want. I always get that weird seat that's to the left, that's very front, next to the handicap stuff, but before the actual like nosebleed seats that you sit in very front.
Didn't you reserve your seats?
No, I didn't. I was trying to, but I couldn't because the app was crashing on me and my passwords.
How did you reserve the ticket?
I didn't. I showed up and literally bought them at time because literally there was maybe 15 people total in the movie theater along with me.
Ooh, so not a big showing, huh?
Not a big showing for a matinee on after like premiering that Thursday night. So I show up, I have my popcorn. I decided to get the popcorn bucket. I was telling Rob before we started recording, they didn't have the shield and the cup that is for Captain America. I thought, you know what, I'll get that because it's made of metal, it's tin or whatever. I'm told by the concession stand person saying, oh, they were all metal. They all got crushed. They all got destroyed. The only ones that we have that were salvageable were these metal ones, these helmet ones, which is Sam Jones or Sam Wilson's helmet when he converts to Captain America with the big A on it and everything else. So I was like, you know what? I'll get that. And he goes, oh, it comes with a large. I'm like, popcorn. I'm like, really? I'm not going to eat all that, pal. So I get it discounted. So I just get what I paid for the helmet and then I get the drink and everything else. So I do that. And then I go in and I'm thinking, oh, great. It's going to be all these trailers. No, it's the introduction of everything else of like, hey, don't record. Here's the trivia. Here's this. And then all of a sudden it starts up. You know, I get my 3D glasses. And the only trailer that they have is the non-spoilery trailer for Fantastic Four.
Right.
And that's it. Huh. And they don't even show the trailer we got for the Super Bowl, everybody. Now, where Herbie the Robot and everything else and you know, Ben Grimm and everything else. It's like, oh, Fantastic Four coming out in July 25, 2025. And I'm like, okay.
I wonder if that's a thing. I wonder if that was actually on purpose, because the fact that they didn't give a trailer in the Atmos theater at all, I'm just wondering if studios didn't pay for, because sometimes I think studios pay to be in front as a trailer in front of a movie, and I'm wondering if they just didn't do that. That would be I'll be very curious. I gotta find that out. Now I gotta, you gotta research
a little bit about that too. Yeah.
Now I got a little mystery there that I gotta figure out.
Yeah, to me, it's like, and then the movie goes right into it, and I'm like, oh, I have to put my 3D glasses on. I was like, oh my God, it's the first time in forever that I actually had. And I had my eyes checked last week, and I found out too, because I've had my glasses since I was 12 years old, everybody. And I found out I have 20/20 vision from my eye doctor, because you don't wait 40 years after you're 12 years old to take an eye exam and find out you have 20/20 vision. The only thing I need glasses for is for reading. So I was like, okay. So I put on these 3D glasses, and I'm like, okay. And I do the little sneak thing throughout the film to see how much of a difference is it between 3D and what I'm seeing on the screen, you know, like with the glasses and without. Is not really that much, but
it was probably like a 3D conversion as opposed to probably filming it in 3D, because that's the difference.
Yeah, I would say that too. And
Yeah.
I was very impressed with it. I was happy with it. It did give a little bit more in depth to it for certain scenes.
Right.
Like especially when he Harrison Ford as the president, you see the people behind him at the podium, the difference between with Isaiah Thompson and Sam and what's his name? Who I forget his name. Oh, Joaquin Torres.
Right.
When they go to the Washington to with his announcement and everything about adamantium and everything, which is pretty cool. Like we said, spoilers, everybody. It's a spoiler full. So this movie basically introduces us into the world of adamantium, into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, mind you, vibranium was the biggest and boldest thing that they've ever done. And that's what, Sam's shield is made out of, as well as his costume, too, because we find out the Wakandans actually sprung for his wings and most of his costume with
Right.
adamantium in it. Not for apparently Joaquin when he is the Falcon and he's got the poor man's. So leave it.
Joaquin has the original Falcon
Suit.
suit. That's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah. Yeah. So they leave the Latino with the crappy suit.
Yo, damn.
And they give the black guy the better suit.
Oh,
I'm not
man.
going there, everybody. But I just find it funny.
You did go there, but okay.
But I thought I was like, oh, great. But they at the very end, when you see Joaquin in the hospital, after all said and done with everything else, like it was probably like 3/4 into the movie when they hit all that stuff. He goes, I want the Wakandans to actually buy, like, make me a new one. Can we barter for that? I'm thinking, I was like, dude, you need an adamantium one now that you got adamantium right now.
Yeah, no, they actually interjected a little. Of course, they have the what I would say the Marvel humor in there, which it's not over the top, as opposed to like let's say what Taika Waititi did with Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
So I appreciated that a lot. But yeah, it had its
Moments. Yeah. And I do enjoy that. And we did stumble upon the I hate saying it, the mess of Marvel, especially with the Eternals, because they talk about the Celestial Island, as they
Right.
call it, with Tiamat, and then we get all the other characters. I love Giancarlo Esposito as Seth Volker, who's part of the Serpent Society, which is Sidewinder.
Right.
And they incorporate the Serpent Society at that point. We got other people involved, like WWE wrestler freaking Seth Rollins, part of that whole Serpent Society. I don't remember if we saw Emily Van Camp as Sharon Carter in it, but they do list her.
I don't. They list her in there.
They list her in credits, but I don't remember seeing her. Probably because it was done through flashbacks and everything else.
She probably got cut out of the film.
It's a possibility because I saw a few moments. And then to talk about cut scenes, let's talk about this. I don't know how thoroughly you were paying attention, Rob.
Okay.
In the very beginning of the film, when you see Harrison Ford as Thaddeus Ross and taking ownership and being the new president of the United States, you see and they mention everything about Sam Wilson being Captain America, and then they cut to a bar scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you see Sam, and then the bartender says, and the bartender and him were having a conversation, and then he hands him 2 beers. Well, was Sam double fisting it, or was he taking 2 beers for himself, or for him and somebody else to another location for a scene that we didn't see. And I have a funny feeling that was a cut scene, because why would Sam Wilson be walking away with 2 big mugs of beer for himself?
At what part of the movie was this?
It was in the very beginning.
Oh, well, yeah, again, I missed it, so that's why,
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing. I take mental notes, everybody. So that was the first thing. And I thought, I'm like, wait, I'm waiting for when this comes out and we get cut scenes or whatever for like on the, keep in mind, everybody, keep your media, buy your media. And Rob will agree with me. If there's a steel book or a 4K Blu-ray, buy it.
Just buy it.
Buy it. Because you'll have those deleted scenes and everything else. Anyhow, I'm sure there's going to be one where he has a conversation with somebody else. And my feeling, that conversation is going to be with Congressman Bucky Barnes.
Yeah, but okay, so I mean, you said that it was spoiler-free podcast.
Spoiler full.
Yeah. So no, spoiler full, but
yeah,
Bucky Barnes already comes out in this movie. He's, he visits him.
Oh yeah, he does later on.
Right.
But that's the whole thing. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the first scene that we do see of Bucky, but they kind of cut it for time. So, and it's like, why would Sam be two-fisting it with 2 mugs of beer at that point?
Was he there with Joaquin?
You don't see anything after that. You see, it's like, hey, it's on the house, and then and Sam goes, "Oh, thanks, bro." It's like, and he just walks away, and then scene ends. So you know that there was a cut scene at that point where he goes to talk to somebody else.
Well, like I said, I missed the 8 minutes, so I'm not sure what I came into like the actual battle in the beginning. That's where I came in. So I just I missed.
You missed a lot.
Did I? Okay, so
dude, you missed a lot. Wow.
Then they started earlier than 6 o'clock, I think, or from the time that I was supposed to be there.
You started at the what, at the White House or at the conference when Harrison Ford or Ross was giving the speech to everybody.
No. At the beginning when they were trying to get the adamantium from Sidewinder, right? So that's what I.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Gotcha. Yeah.
There was a scene there where, and it's funny because I walked in on the scene where you see Sam Wilson talking Spanish to a family, and I'm like, and again, I'm thinking. Did I walk into like the Spanish version of Captain America? I mean, I was like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah. Well, Giancarlo Esposito was actually speaking a lot of Spanish and was subtitled throughout that whole scene, too.
Was it? Okay. So, like I said, I missed the 8 minutes, which kind of sucks. And I'm going to have to probably go back to see that. So, but I'll look out for that,
yeah,
2 beers. Yeah.
It's that one scene that was like, it goes kind of pretty quickly. But I caught it because I love to think in that mode. It's that analytic podcaster mode. Very much almost like Sabra herself, Shira Haas, who plays Ruth. I forgot her wackadoodle last name, but she was part of the Red Room, and she was part of the Widow Society that Black Widow came from. She's Israeli, and after it's during the whole battleship moment towards the end, she has a suit under her jacket, a suit. I mean, like superhero suit. It's kind of shiny. It's got green and whatever.
Right.
We don't see anything else. That's another cut scene that we don't see because she has a suit like.
Well,
Black
you also
Widow.
have to remember that this movie, they're probably setting things up for the next movie, which is going to be the Thunderbolts.
Yes.
After that,
which we kind of get an inkling of within this movie.
Right. You get the Fantastic Four. You have, of course, Avengers Doom. So we might see that costume in maybe one of those movies. I mean, maybe not Fantastic Four, but one of those movies. So we just don't know what that is. But that's another one that you caught and I didn't catch. I mean,
Yeah.
So
I have my eyes and my goggles on, looking for that little stuff.
right,
Because I'm like,
you were looking for details. Me, I'm just sitting there trying to kind of just take in the movie because, like I
Yeah.
said, I went with very low expectations into this movie, so
Yeah.
I was just kind of taking it in and seeing, okay, where is this going and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
to me, um, as I mentioned before, this movie does have uh, a Captain America Winter Soldier vibe, and what they did was
Yes.
they got inspirations from different movies.
Hmm.
So the Manchurian Candidate, they got inspirations from Day of the Condor, I think, something like that.
Hmm.
Or is it called Day of the Condor? I'm not sure. I know that I think it was with Robert Redford that he was in that movie, but they really got a lot of spy thriller type of inspiration, and that's what I was paying attention to the most, was more of the, oh, this has that kind of vibe.
Yeah. It was 3 days of the Condor, everybody.
3 Days of the Condor, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so it's so that's what I was kind of paying attention to more. It's just the vibe of the movie, not like the little tiny details. I mean, later I'll probably go back and see, okay, little detail here, little detail there. I'm sure there's a shitload of Easter eggs everywhere.
Oh yeah, there is.
So I didn't catch them.
Mhm.
And there's always really good websites and really
There's always
good.
YouTubers out there that
They
get
they
screeners, and yeah. We're not one of those people, everybody, but I go in there thinking, because I've watched all of Disney Plus, and I keep that in the back of my head of certain things.
so
I remember, Captain America and the Winter Soldier, or was it Falcon and the Winter Soldier? I forget.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier is the one that came out in Disney Plus.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I keep thinking Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
No, I'm sorry. It's Captain America and the Winter Soldier is the movie. Falcon and the Winter Soldier is
The Disney Plus
right.
show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep thinking of that, because it's like everybody was having a hard time thinking of Sam Wilson as Captain America
Well, he became Captain America
through
in
that.
in the show.
Yeah, through that show.
Right. In that show, that's where he became Captain America. But he was given the mantle, of course, at Avengers Endgame.
Yeah, by Steve Rogers.
Right. But yeah, no, it's
I love what they did with the suit at this time during the film, because Anthony Mackie at that one time during filming Falcon and the Winter Soldier said, "I'm not wearing that thing again," meaning that costume that they
Right.
had at the very end, because it was so uncomfortable. And they gave him more of the traditional of Captain America and the Winter Soldier look, with the goggles and the Captain America style look that Chris
Right.
Evans had in the Winter Soldier movie. And it was more flak based. It was the dark blue with the,
yeah.
and it makes sense. It actually makes a hell of a lot more sense, in my opinion, because that is Captain America.
Right. Well, you got to remember that. So Falcon, when he was given that mantle, in the comic books, there is first that white, red, white, and blue suit that he had in the show towards the end was very comic accurate. I mean,
Yes, it was.
extremely comic accurate to what came out in the comic books.
Yeah.
And I believe they continued with that look in the comic books, but I guess they wanted to appease what I would say fans out there. But
Yes.
then, yeah, it made sense that they had to change the costume, which I think is cool.
I think it was cool too. It really worked out in the end. And as the story unfolds, let's talk about comic book accurate characters. Let's look at The Leader by Tim Blake Nelson, who plays Samuel Stearns,
Right.
the leader. And the last time we ever saw him was in The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton, Liv Tyler, and at the time, we had John Hurt, and William Hurt. I can't say John Hurt. William Hurt,
Right.
as Thaddeus Ross, and then everybody else that was in that particular film. But in that we saw him, his brain was like getting big with the blood going. His head was bleeding, and then the gamma radiation going in. And you thought, oh, we're going to get the leader like it was in a comic book where he has this big kind of Frankenstein kind of large head with a flat top with a big brain in it. And then in this case, the way they did it made it more of a mutation where it looks like the brain is on the outside of the head and there's no
Right.
hair, which is more realistic. And they're trying to go in a gear point of like realism. But there was a version of that particular leader within the comics in one run at one point. And I thought, okay, that makes sense of how, and I could suspend my disbelief of comic and accuracy and cartoon
I have
and everything
told
else.
you a million times that not everything from comic book
Would
works
be
on the screen.
perfect. Exactly. It does. Yeah. I
know?
do agree with you. Yes. And I agree
I
with
still
you.
remember the day you're like, oh, they should have Wolverine as his 5'1", self. I think that would be cool. And what happened? They showed it in, Deadpool
and I agreed
Wolverine,
with you.
and I was like, do you want that now? Because that looks way too funny.
It does look way too funny, and I do agree with you. Yeah, I'm glad that I agree with you with that now, because you have to set aside and allow these adaptations as they should be. So
Right.
with Tim Blake Nelson in it, and he reprised his roles, but you could actually hear his voice, but his voice is a little bit different in comparison to the character he played in The Incredible Hulk. So he made it a little bit more sinister. And I thought, and you don't really get to see all of Tim Blake Nelson throughout most of the movie. You just hear his voice. So, and when we finally get the what he looks like, it's like I was like, okay. But also a lot of the giveaways that they did on AMC's website. I don't know if you saw the standees, and they released them about 4 months before or 3 months before the movie came out. They have standees. They actually have Tim Blake Nelson as Samuel Stearns, the leader, and he's got hair. And he's got that little greenish mutation on it under
Right.
the merchandise of the standees. In the
Oh,
movie,
okay.
he looks completely different. But I was like, awesome. Okay, it's not as accurate, but it makes sense. Chef's kiss to it. It makes sense to make it a little bit more realistic. Same thing with the way they did with the writing within it and how people are portrayed within society and how they looked at Isaiah Bradley with Carl Lumley as the character. And, he was always overlooked, even in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the show itself, the character itself. But they kind of bring up the same thing. I love his relationship with Sam Wilson in the movie, and the brotherly love within it, and why Sam had brought him in. But it was they utilized that tactic of Samuel Stearns as bringing and putting him into that position of bringing him into Washington, and then him being a key point. Them using the music to unlock, or even with the phones with the blinking images to
the flashing light was to basically set them up
yes,
as okay. So now that we have control of their brains, and then the music is what actually triggered them.
Yes,
So, yeah.
which was Mr. Blue. Mr. Blue is the name of the song.
Right.
Now, if you all remember in The Incredible Hulk, Tim Blake Nelson's character of Samuel Stern, who
Mr. Blue.
It was Mr. Blue. So that's really a callback to that, which was a Universal movie, honestly, because Universal holds the rights to The Incredible Hulk, everybody, for distribution and everything. It was the one time that Marvel had to deal with that, and they still just, they share licensing at this point. That's why we don't have a full Incredible Hulk style movie, is because Universal still holds the publishing and licensing of The Incredible Hulk. and they're working on that. And that's why they want to do World War Hulk at this point. And they're in the process of trying to get that rectified so that way, Marvel could put that out, which is pretty cool. But I like that, we get a lot of callbacks to that stuff within the movie
Right.
itself. And I love seeing Carl Lumbly as that and how they make him like a curmudgeon. It's like, yeah, he doesn't work well with others. And he tells this to Joaquin Torres, Falcon, the new Falcon. And I loved the headquarters of Sam Wilson and Joaquin. I don't know if you saw it.
By the way, to go back to the rights thing, actually, Marvel and Disney got the rights to the Hulk back in 2023.
Yeah, I know. I remember that.
Yeah. So no, Universal is no longer.
They're not part of it anymore
Right,
for
exactly.
distribution and everything. I thought they still had a distribution portion
No,
of it.
it was originally released in 2008 and distributed by Universal, but Universal held the rights to the movie for 15 years. So in June 2023, the rights
reverted.
reverted back to Marvel Studios.
Okay, perfect. So that's why we're going to get a World War Hulk supposedly coming out sometime within the next probably 5 to 10 years, everybody. So look for Mark Ruffalo to dyeing his gray hairs and coming back.
Listen, man,
as Banner.
they just need to take that away from Sony.
Sony for Peter Parker.
Oh my God, man.
And Miles Morales, man. I want to see Miles Morales in the live action, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be. Again, that's when Sony needs to go. Okay, you know what? Let the MCU do this because the only thing we're really good at is the cartoon part of it.
Oh, they were amazing with what they did with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. You and I both covered it.
Yep.
And they did an amazing job of it. When it comes to live action, they suck.
Yeah.
I hate saying it, but they suck. Craven was a interesting take, and Morbius, they really bottomed out. And who knows what
where they really
Madam Web.
Madam Web. That's where, that's like, and I apologize for people out there, but that's like somebody took me, right? Somebody sat me down on concrete naked and then dragged my ass on that concrete. And what was left on that concrete, that's Madam Web.
Yeah, they made us put on in eye speculums to make us watch it. So they're spread open our eyes. So we had to watch it for like 2 hours straight.
Oh,
And it was just pure eye torture. And then watching the actors and feeling for the actors going, and the actors in the back of their heads as they're acting going, at least I got paid.
That's all they cared about. It's like, I just got paid.
But I saw what they were trying to do, but honestly, they shouldn't even bothered. They canceled Batgirl of all movies for DC. They canceled.
I'm sorry, that picture of Batgirl just looked horrible. That costume was just atrocious. I don't care what anyone says out there. That just looked like it was a cheap movie.
It did, but Michael Keaton got paid on it, and so did Brendan Fraser was in that too. And he got paid. He was like, they both said, it's like, well, we got paid for something that never came out. So
hey, listen, I wish I could get paid for something that never happened or something like that. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
It's like, oh well.
But this movie itself, I thought they went and they focused in on a lot of things that were needed to be focused in on based within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They talked about adamantium. They introduced us to adamantium. They also talked about Tiamat and everything that happened during the Eternals. They focused in on Thunderbolt Ross, and now we're prepped for what would be called the Thunderbolts at this point.
Well, the fact that now that they have adamantium in the Marvel universe is it now opens it up to, of course, the X-Men.
Yeah.
And of course opens it up to then Wolverine being in it.
Yep.
So that's That's a good thing.
Yeah, it is a good thing.
My so here's the thing. My problem. While I like the movie, there's a few problems that I have with this movie.
Good.
So part of it is if Tiamat is there, where the hell are the Eternals? Everybody's fighting over this Tiamat thing, but you would think the Eternals might show up or something like that and go,
That is true.
no, don't put your hands on that. Are they setting this up maybe for, like, I know, like in the comic books, the Avengers had the head or the body of an Eternal as their base. So I'm wondering if they're going to do the same thing here. So, and I kind of wish they got into a little bit of the science. It's like, hey, when Tiamat came out of the ocean, it kind of created chaos around the world and, tsunamis and all kinds of things. That never happened. So, so those are like the little
nuances that
tidbits that I had on that.
Yeah.
So it was that, and then how can I say it? I'm sure there's a lot of little things that there's a lot of inconsistencies with this movie, which I'm kind of wondering where they're going. Again, I enjoyed this movie, but there are certain things where I'm like, okay, that kind of bothers me because that just hasn't been explained very well. And hopefully, who knows, they might explain it. They might not. Who knows? It's one of those things where they're like, yeah, listen, hopefully nobody will ask about that again.
Exactly. I think they're trying to put that behind them. And the mention of Eternals, it's so funny because you don't get as much. The only time that we talked about the Eternals or anything was during What If recently.
Yeah.
The most recent season of What If that came out on Disney Plus. Because what was his name? The Indian actor, or I should say Asian actor. I'm
not sure what his name is. I am not a big fan of him, but he said, what is it? He's a comedian. Geesh, I gotta look that up now.
Yeah, because he actually voiced the Hindi Spider-Man in Into the Spider-Verse, if you remember, too, as well. But
so his name is, and I know I'm gonna butcher this.
Yeah,
it's Kamal Ali Nanjiani.
Nanjiani, yeah,
right.
Kamal Nanjiani,
right.
That's who it is. Yep, yeah, and he was in the What If series, and I love fact. You could hear his voice, and he was part of that, and they incorporated that within that What If episode with Agatha All Along, or Agatha Harkness, if you remember it, everybody. And I really enjoyed that episode, but that was the only time we got a reference of an Eternal from the Eternals movie in the Marvel Cinematic or even the Marvel Universe for Disney Plus. And I was like, oh, okay. So they might fall upon that because there was stuff that happened at the end of the Eternals. We had Black Knight in there as well.
We had Black Knight. We also had the voice of Blade, which of course now that has been a debacle.
Mahershala Ali might not even take charge as Blade. Who knows?
No, they have canceled that movie so many times. It's pretty bad. Here's what I wish. I wish what they did was I would have given Eternals another 10%. Because for me, Eternals, ranks in the 0% when it comes to me liking this movie.
Yeah.
I would have given a 10% if they would have made the Eternals look exactly the one thing Taika Waititi did really well was when they did flashbacks of the Eternals in Thor, they looked like the Kirby version.
Yes.
The Jack Kirby version.
The Celestials you're talking about.
The Celestial, the Celestial. So I'm sorry. The Celestials looked exactly like the Jack Kirby design. And then in the movie Eternals,
Yeah.
they did not.
Well,
And you would think that, Kevin Feige will go, whoa, we already established the fact that they're going to look like like the Jack Kirby stuff.
yeah.
Continue with that, but
Well, it also happened in the Guardians of the Galaxy too, because in Guardians of the Galaxy they actually showed the Celestials as they were as Kirby cuts too.
correct. So they have it
Yeah.
in 2 movies, but yet, in this movie, it's like, nah, forget what you did. I don't care.
I wanted that so much that they could turn it around, even in the What If Disney Plus series. I thought they were going to turn it around.
I thought they were going to turn it around, and they didn't. They
didn't.
continue with this version of it, so it's kind of confusing. I was always hoping that the Eternals movie was based in another universe.
Correct. Yeah. Same here.
I was hoping
I was in the 616. It was like some other one.
It was another one, and and then when they do the multiverse of madness or thing like that, or then they go, oh, here's that universe where that TMS
where that happens. It's like that Professor X. No, don't forget him.
Yeah,
we got a new guy for you.
But no, none of that happens. So.
Yeah, and it's like, hold on. Yeah, it's like, we're going to have a Fantastic Four. We're going to have a Council of Reeds. So we're going to have Miles Teller, and we're going to have the other guy from the first Fantastic Four in it, too.
I've always said, respect the IP, man. And that's what they didn't do with the Eternals. Now, going back to, what is it? Captain America, Brave New World. I just thought that, because this thing is there and now everybody in the world is trying to fight for it, or at least a few countries are trying to fight for it because of adamantium, I thought, okay, the Eternals should have made at least an appearance.
But we didn't even get that.
We didn't get any of that. It's like, what happened to the Eternals then? But
honestly, story-wise, like, basically centering around what they're looking at with President Ross, between Sam Wilson, definitely Joaquin Torres, especially with Sidewinder, which is Seth Volker, which played by Giancarlo Esposito, and having all those characters, especially with Isaiah Bradley. I think they centered it around where it was like around this one little world or this one little scheme of this whole little espionage or revenge tactic,
right,
from Tim Blake Nelson, Samuel Stearns. It worked out where it solidified the story into itself of its own little world, but also expanded out in the end, because not only did we get a Red Hulk, because I saw there was a lot of foreshadowing in it. As soon as I saw him in the very beginning with the lollipop, and he was like, because he can't smoke cigars anymore. But later on, we see him popping a small little, which always looked to me like a
It looks like what I would say, the nitroglycerin,
yes,
or something like, not nitroglycerin. What do they call it for people with heart conditions?
Exactly. It was something for like, it was like an antacid, but it was more for people who had cancer, or I know what you're saying. I know that feeling. I had that in the back of my head too, and I thought of it right away. And I was like, okay, but that's going to come back. And it did. Right. And it's one of those where it was foreshadowing, and you knew it's like, okay, he's being dosed with gamma radiation in some way. And then, of course, with the, with Sam's friend who is in the ops. And I love how Joaquin does the thing and he plays the music in the section.
So it's
nitroglycerin.
Nitroglycerin is an explosive.
It is, yes.
Nitric oxide.
It's nitric oxide? Okay.
Nitric oxide is a chemical in the body that can help protect against cardiovascular diseases. So
okay, good.
Yeah, so
we always think about it as nitroglycerin.
Wait, am I right here? I don't know. Like, listen, I'm not a doctor, so please don't take any medical advice from me.
Exactly. Yeah, don't suck on that stuff if you don't have to.
I'm looking it up on the internet, and of course, as we all know, the internet can be a double-sided blade.
Exactly, it is. but I knew exactly where you were going with that. And that
Right.
was the first thing I thought too as a kid when I used to see people and it was small tablets and it was something to help them with
Right.
their blood pressure or whatever. Which also falls in the same history of Thaddeus Ross, because as we recall, during the
Oh, shoot. Wait, I'm sorry. Shoot. You're right. It is nitroglycerin tablets. All right. So you're right.
oh really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I guess I was
I
right.
thought nitroglycerin was an explosive. Oh my
I
God.
didn't, normally is. That's what I thought too. Anyhow,
I gotta look that up now.
he's gonna go on a whole warpath, everybody.
Oh, it's bad. It's really bad when I do that.
So we knew that General Ross at one point had bypass surgery for his heart condition, and they utilized that storyline in this, and it works out. But we find out that's the whole reason why he kept Tim Blake Nelson, Samuel Stearns captured after the Incredible Hulk, so he could do tests to do whatever he needed to, and it really helped him out later on. But by capturing him, he kind of sealed his own fate, and he became the one thing he always hated, which was Bruce Banner and being a Hulk. And then he became, and I laugh at the response of somebody going, "Hey, were they? I thought they were always green." And then honestly, the action sequences within the movie were amazing in IMAX 3D. It looked great with the dogfight chases and everything else around the battleships when they were dealing with that. The very beginning, the fight scene where you saw Sam fighting in the very beginning. It was some sort of mission that Sam was on. I forgot what it was. And then at the very end too, towards the end with the fight, that battle with Red Hulk and Sam, as
That was actually very impressive.
It was impressive.
I will say that. Yeah. I mean,
though there were times I'm like, yeah, that don't work out. Yeah, that don't work out, because honestly, he would have destroyed that, even though it's vibranium, and they kind of made it aware too that he's able to damage vibranium as a Hulk, and he was beating the crap out of Sam, even down to one wing at one point, and
which
holding his own.
That was the other part. Yeah, I think that was the other part that got to me about this movie was, while I enjoyed the battle and everything,
yeah,
the amount of punishment he took and every time he was like, "Oh, I should have taken the super soldier serum."
Oh yeah,
But
and they go back to that.
The amount of punishment he took, and I know that I guess his vibranium suit protected him, or at least most of that damage, that he was getting. But
Yeah,
he should have been dead.
yeah, that's what I said too. That's what the first thing I thought. I was like, yeah, he would have been dead. And but the scenes itself were really, really done well. The action sequences, I thought the CG was done okay. I was thinking the worst because of what we saw before, practically from trailers and everything else. I'm like, oh, that doesn't look that great. Though when you get close-ups of the Red Hulk, it looks like Harrison Ford perfectly at times. Like
it looked great. Yeah. Even the scar on his chin was on there too.
Yeah.
So no, it was I thought that battle was pretty cool. I wish there was a little, how can I say, more destruction. That's just me.
Really, more?
I wanted him to decimate like all of freaking, Washington or something like that. Not that I'm trying to make any kind of commentary.
Well, they destroyed
right
the
now.
White House and they got a little bit of the Washington Monument too. So you got some good stuff. I think they were going for the Lincoln Memorial at that point.
I thought so too. I thought when he passed by it and he like kind of scraped it or something, that it was gonna like topple over.
I thought so too. Yeah, I thought that was like, okay, it's gonna break and destroy. It's like, oh, they're going for everything here. This is Independence Day. But yeah, it really impressed me with the fight scenes. I really did enjoy it. You had your moments where there wasn't extreme action in this film, but you're definitely I found myself doing the pee pee dance, sitting down, going, I don't want to leave because I don't want to miss anything. I don't know if you felt the same way, even though this movie
dude,
was.
my bladder wanted to explode. So,
But this is probably one of the shorter of the MCU films out there because it clocks in at an hour and 58 minutes or a 158 at certain points. And I was like, and I looked at the clock and I was like, oh, it started at 11. It's only about 12:10. I'm doing the pee pee dance in the seat, and obviously there's nobody around me, but I was like, I'm not gonna run off. I'm gonna hold it in. And I held it in and I was like, okay, good. But it's not like Oppenheimer where it was like 3 hours plus.
almost a 4-hour movie. No, I actually missed, I think, probably like about 3 minutes of that because I was like, I'm going to the bathroom. I don't care.
Yeah, I know the same thing here.
I actually, it's funny because when it ended, they didn't have a post. By the way, people, there's no post credit. Well, there's no. What is it? No post.
There's a post credit scene.
There's a post credit scene, but there's not an after credit scene.
No, not
That's what it
after
is.
credit.
So once I saw that there was no after credit scene, I'm like, I'm going to the bathroom.
And then you can come back during the credits.
And I came back for the other one. Yeah. So, by the way, nitroglycerin. We're going back to this.
Okay, go ahead.
So the drug nitroglycerin is the one used for the nitroglycerin for explosives.
Mm-hmm.
The diluted version is what's used for
blood.
Well, let me see. So the drug nitroglycerin is a diluted form of the same chemical used as the explosive nitroglycerin. Yeah, so it is the same thing. So people who take nitroglycerin for heart conditions are basically taking the same chemical for explosive. I think. So is that crazy?
Interesting.
Yeah.
So can they spontaneously explode?
It's diluted, so I'm sure it's safe.
Yeah, it's diluted in the sense that it's like it does something within the blood itself in their system and then thins it out, which is pretty cool. All right, cool. And then to go back to what I said before, it's like we had, like I said, they did showing a lot of diversity in this. During the time with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, when that came out, everybody was going Black Lives Matter or whatever during that time. They had Isaiah Bradley in it, and a lot of it had to do with like how they were shunning the original Captain America, which was a black Captain America. And with this, they kind of continued.
Was he originally a black? I mean, I thought he was just the second person who got the.
He was the second person that they tested it on after.
But
Steve Rogers
was he named Captain America back then?
It was part of the Super Soldier trials after Steve Rogers went missing. So yeah, Isaiah Bradley. I mean, was the second version of Captain America, but that survived everything. But he went and saved his pals and got court-martialed and was imprisoned because he went against a company or the government because he went to go save his friends. And they used that and they imprisoned him for years and they experimented on him. So, and then it was like all about this whole Black Lives Matter thing during that whole time. And everybody kept saying it's all woke and all this other nonsense. I always loved the idea of the character of Isaiah Bradley. And I was glad that they brought up that story arc in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And the fact that we got Anthony Mackie as Captain America, as a black Captain America. Right. And then we got it as what would look like, comic accurate for a moment at least. And then they changed it quickly, which, for this movie, it worked out perfectly with the new costuming. We did in the very beginning, they kind of altered the costume. It was still the white and the blue. And then he switches over when he goes, "I'll grab your gear."
Right.
He goes, "What? I have to grab my gear now?" "Yeah, I told you about that like 5 minutes ago. Let's go." And him and Joaquin have to go out, and and I love Joaquin's zeal in this of wanting to be an Avenger. So it's kind of like how Sam was with Steve.
Right.
So now it's like it's the same story over and over again. and the fact that they kind of implement the idea of with Ross saying, I want to bring the Avengers back, even at the very end of the film of him being in prison, him wanting the Avengers back. And
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're trying. Well, I mean, again, this is kind of a prelude to what's going to happen, of course, with the other movies.
Thunderbolts.
Well, not only Thunderbolts, but the Avengers movies also. So I'm very curious because here's the whole thing about the way this phase is going, right? You have when you had the first phase one, you had an introduction to Iron Man, you had an introduction to Captain America, Thor, and the Hulk, and who else? I think that was it. Before you had an Avengers movie, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, you had a few more introductions to other superheroes, and then you had another Avengers movie.
Mm-hmm.
So since things in the MCU have been kind of a little bit messed up,
they altered it a little bit. There was a
this
structure.
year-
They had a
this
structure, and then
year,
they kind of
it's like, we want you to reform the Avengers, but where are those heroes coming from? Who are these? Are these going to be these heroes? Because the next movie, again, you got the Fantastic Four, you got the Thunderbolts, which the Thunderbolts are not the Avengers, right?
No, they're the alternate version. It's the Suicide Squad of the Avengers.
Right, kind of something like that, right? And then you have, then you're gonna have what's the other movie that's coming out? I forgot. The thing is, like, who are the Avengers going to be? Are they bringing back older characters, older actors that were in the Avengers? I mean, is Chris Hemsworth going to come back as Thor? Is Paul Rudd going to come back as Ant-Man and stuff like that? So it's something that, is kind of, it's been kind of lingering in my head. Why? All right, so you're coming up with the Avengers, cool. And then when Ross told
Sam,
hey, I want you to restart the Avengers, I'm like, okay, but there's about 3 movies before the Avengers, so are they doing the same thing where they're trying to rush this again?
I think
I hope not. It kind of sucks that if they do, because I mean, unless it's done really well, but I just don't trust the MCU anymore the way I used to before the MCU.
You're gonna trust DC.
My God, the
at this point.
Listen, man, the MCU used to be that thing where, like, there's an MCU movie coming out. I was like, oh, we know it's gonna be good.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Now it's like, MCU movies coming out. And we're like, oh boy,
it's hit or miss. We don't know. It's like, is this going to be the good one or the bad one? We don't know.
And that's really shameful. That's really shameful because you trusted this institution so much.
Yeah.
And the way they did things, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, we got it wrong so much that we're hoping you come back.
I think this is where they kind of cashed in their lotto ticket, and that lotto ticket is the Russo brothers for the Avengers movies that are coming out soon, because they're going to be handling Doomsday. They're going to be handling Secret Wars 1 and 2, or if it's going to be Secret Wars 1 and 2, they're handling that. The Russo brothers are they're like movie gold when it comes to their films. They handed us Infinity Wars. They handed us Endgame. They handed us, Civil War and Winter Soldier. And they made it perfect. And they handled the writing. So it's as like with the Wachowski brothers or sisters right now, when they did The Matrix originally, they were gold and they were a hit. So maybe they could strike gold again, and they could remedy and fix this mess.
The Wachowskis did was Wachowskis? Yeah. So they whatever. Um, they sorry that I mispronounced their names, but yeah, they were gold with the first Matrix.
Yes,
Second and
yes.
third Matrix. Come on.
But they
And
made
they-
a lot of money on those films. Trust
They
me.
did, but they're not great. And then
They're
the
not great by
and the
far.
four-
The
and the
second
fourth
was-
one, oh my god, is horrible.
It came and went at that point. It was done by one of them anyway. But regardless, the thing was is that with the Russos, they brought a depth to the MCU that in their writing that did well, and they took charge of it production wise as well as writing wise. I think the reason why this captivated me more than anything, this particular movie with the Captain America Brave New World, is because the executive producer in the movie was the lead actor. It was Sam Wilson himself. Anthony Mackie was the executive producer in this particular film. And I think he had hands on and wanting it to make it right, down to not just the action, but what they were trying to present socially, as far as politically, and not making it more political to what's going on currently. But
It kind of had a few undertones of what's going on currently in the world now.
not as abrasive.
It wasn't right. It wasn't like blatant in your face, but there were
Yeah.
like those little undertones where it's like, oh, okay, they're taking like like they're taking a shot at what's going on nowadays.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
But I appreciated that nonetheless. I think that's why there were a lot of reshoots that were going on, and it showed humility and some people looking at Thaddeus Ross at the very end and how he reacted to Sam, how he reacted to the Avengers. It was kind of up and comings of that particular character within
Right.
the MCU. So and it showed a redemption to some degree. So henceforth, I think that's what's going on with the Thunderbolts, because when they create the Thunderbolts, and I'm looking forward to that movie now because we know what that little asterisk at the end is. It's like there's no Avengers. We have the Thunderbolts. It's kind of
Right.
like the Suicide Squad. So I'm glad that we're getting that, and I really did enjoy that. That Super Bowl halftime commercial or trailer that we got. And I'm looking forward to the movie and going seeing that. Now, mind you, this is the first movie I've seen in a very, very long time in the theater. And I was glad I got to see this the way I did. I was expecting I'm going to come home. I'm going to be really upset about this film. And I was like, I came home and I was like, I really enjoyed that film. I actually enjoyed it. Just like it was, I'm not saying it was the greatest film ever. No. But I was satisfied that I paid the money that I did to go see the film.
Yeah,
And-
unfortunately, the score right now for Rotten Tomatoes, I believe, is in the 50s.
Yeah, it's about. I
So-
knew it was going to be halfway, or maybe
Yeah.
a little bit more by the time its final run. So I'm sure people in time will start to like it, but
We can only hope, but
we can only hope. Yeah. The one thing that I did take away from it that I did enjoy was when we got to see a Bucky come back.
That was that scene right there. I would say was it was a very touching scene,
Yeah.
and it was the most human part of that movie. By having Bucky come back, give him some advice, the way they greeted each other as really good friends.
Yeah.
And even when Bucky was, about to leave, he goes, "Man, I love you, man." It was just kind of like a very heartfelt bro moment, I guess.
It was a bro moment. And it's so funny too, because it kind of was like complete opposite of back in Civil War, because can you move your seat? 'Cause I hate you. And they keep saying it throughout the whole movie. I really hate you.
Oh no, yeah, they hated each other, but that I think that of course that relationship was established
Because
in,
of Steve.
because and also because of the show,
Yeah.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But it was actually a nice little moment, and I really, really wanted probably some little moments like that. I know they wanted. So here's the whole thing about this film. I know they wanted Mackie to stand on his own,
Yeah.
but the problem that this movie is having is the fact that if you name a movie Captain America, people still want Steve Rogers.
Correct.
They do not want Sam. And understandably so, because and I understand why they did it that way. One, yeah, in the comic books, it turned out to be that way too.
Mhm.
But it's also because, the actor who played Captain America, what's his name?
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans. So it's also because Chris Evans wasn't coming back as Captain America.
Correct.
Because if he was, they wouldn't have never made Falcon into Captain America. I just know that.
No.
So, of course, they did the next step of, hey, let's do what the comic book did, which is we'll turn, Sam right into Captain America, just like in the comic book.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of audiences are still not like, they want Chris Evans.
Mhm.
They don't want Anthony Mackie. And it's not to say Anthony Mackie's a bad actor. I think he's a great actor.
Same here.
But for him to carry the mantle of Captain America is not the same the way Chris Evans made that character. And he made it fantastic. I mean, his first movie, Captain America, the First Avengers, some people are divided on that movie. They feel like,
I love that movie.
I love that movie too, but some people just didn't like it. They didn't think it was his best. Of course, where Captain America and Chris Evans and everybody came together to say the best movie of Captain America was Captain America Winter Soldier.
Oh, yeah.
That was like the pinnacle, and people still have that. People still hope for that. So I think while it's a little bit unfair for people to compare it to, what Chris Evans has done with that character, they definitely need to give him a chance. But I think what I would say, the audience scores and all that stuff says that either one, they're not giving Anthony Mackie that chance, or they just didn't like the story. And I can understand the story kind of like, because the story is all over the place in this movie. I still enjoyed it, but again, the story's all over the place. There's a few criticisms that I have.
Yeah.
And those criticisms are valid. It's just that's, I think, the problem that this movie's going to have in order to gain more fans and more of an audience is to just have people go, hey, it is not as bad as you may think. Or Anthony Mackie's actually very good in this. If you can, go see it because of Anthony Mackie, because he makes it his own.
Yeah.
What I hear most out there is, well, it's not Chris Evans. And it's like, true, but give it a chance.
Yeah.
So
Stop
I think,
everybody.
it's just, it's kind of interesting to see. And I think that's why this movie, of course, is not landing as well. But it is funny because when I heard about Captain America and then I heard about the Thunderbolts, I really thought people would be more excited about Captain America than the Thunderbolts, and
Same
it's
here.
the other way around. A lot more people are more excited about the Thunderbolts,
Which is so weird that they're aiming for the B crew or the B team instead
Well,
of the A team.
if you watch the trailer looks. I mean, that looks like it's a fun movie.
Oh,
Like
it does
that,
look like it's
that
fun
looks
movie.
like an awesome fun movie. Now I could be wrong, and you go into it, and after the movie, you go, "What the hell was that?"
Exactly.
Again, we don't have faith in the MCU like we used to. But
Yeah. It's a
but it-
crapshoot, everybody.
it is a crapshoot. But I think a lot more people are way more invested in the Thunderbolts, and of course,
Yeah.
the movie of this year that
Yeah.
everybody's really going to be invested in is Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's the one that everybody's going
Yeah,
to.
July 25th is going to change the world, and it's something we've already had 2 iterations of the first family of Marvel, and I obviously when we get the first version, I was like, oh great,
Actually, three of you. If you
I know
count the
Roger
if you-
Corman,
Yeah.
which
If
I
you-
have and I own, yes. But the first one that was cinematic and actually ran a run, I'll say the first 2, The first one I was gung ho for, and I was like, okay, that was interesting. I said that was a movie, uh, but it was a Fox film, and I thought, okay. And then the sequel was better than the first, and then we got the third film, which was Josh Trank's version, which I was hopeful for, but he put a modern twist, and not many people got.
You know
And
that was his last movie, right?
yes, I know.
That movie broke him.
It did break him, and I feel so sorry for that man.
I don't. Sorry, he ruined that whole thing. So,
But you know, it they tried. Now, mind you, the one thing that I am looking and hopeful for with this is that it gives that 60s vibe from the original Fantastic
it
Four
has
when
an
it came out.
awesome retro future look.
Yes,
I love
that's
that.
what
Yeah.
I love it. And so it shows you that it's an alternate universe. I'm looking forward to it. I love the idea of Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. I love Eban in it as
I'll be
Ben
honest
Grimm.
with you. Pedro Pascal, while I love the actor and I love the stuff that he does,
Yeah.
I wasn't too keen on him being Reed Richards.
A lot of people weren't. I know that. Yeah.
And so I saw the trailers and I'm like, all right, I'm warming up to it, definitely. And I think he'll definitely going to give it a really good I think he's going to do a good performance when it comes to that. But at first, when I heard it, I was like, what? I was like, all right, sure. I mean, Pedro Pascal, huh? And you would think, hey, me being Latino and him being Latino, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to pull for it. It's not that. It's more of I think I would. So I'm always a person who loves a take on the comic book and they get it as comic book accurate as possible.
Yeah.
Where it makes sense. So like when you look at Chris Evans and Steve Rogers, he looks straight out of the comic books, right?
Correct. Yeah, he does.
Also Chris Helmsworth, Thor, he looks straight out of the comic. Shit. Samuel L. Jackson as Fury.
Nick Fury, yeah.
Nick Fury, he looks straight out of the Ultimate Marvels.
Yes.
So really well done. And I think that Robert Downey Jr. is like one of them, which he kind of made that character a lot cooler than what he is in the comic books. In the
made
comic
it
books,
his own. Yes.
He made it his own, but physically still looked like him. Right. And I always pictured Reed Richards to be like, when Krasinski came out in Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, I know.
You could picture that.
He's tall, skinny, and
right.
Yeah,
I can even picture, and again, we're going back to, I know that we've done the George Clooney thing a lot, but I can even picture George Clooney being Reed Richards or something like that. Something like that, right? Younger, I would say a slightly younger Clooney. Or there's other, like John Hamm, or, so it depends. But Pedro Pascal, all of a sudden, they did. I was like, but he doesn't look like the character in the comic books. But we've been very surprised with some characters out there that they have done very well. Yeah. Or there's some, some castings that have been done very well that you go, I didn't expect him to be as good.
Yes.
As that. So hopefully this is going to be one of those.
I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I'm a huge Pedro Pascal fan, and I'm thinking he will definitely knock it out of the park as portraying Reed, the way Reed is within the comics as personality. Looks wise, I don't really give it crap because you have a council of Reeds. You can have a ton of different Reeds that look like comic book accurate at a certain point.
Oh, I'm sure,
and I'm like, we're gonna get our fuel of that. But my feeling is that for the one that we need that person of the personality, and I think Pedro could actually pull it off perfectly.
I'm sure he can. I mean, I'm not doubting it. I just thought that it was just a kind of a strange cast, and I was like, oh, okay. It's the same thing when people were like, oh, they casted Ben Affleck as Batman. People were so pissed off.
Oh, I remember. And you and I love Ben Affleck as Batman.
Yeah. And we were like, really, Ben Affleck? But no, I actually thought, you know what? I could see him doing that because he always wanted that part. The reason they say that the reason he took Daredevil was because he knew that he would never be able to play a
Batman.
character like Batman.
Correct. Yeah.
And now that he did, I think he was, to me, he's the best Batman out there. That's just me. I know I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate
Who
mail,
cares?
whatever.
I feel the same way too,
But that being said, he surprised us, and a
Yeah.
lot of people were just like, "Wow, okay." At first, we were against it, but now,
Yeah.
he did a great job. So I think Pedro Pascal will do a great job.
I think so too.
What I'm trying to figure out is how this movie ties into the Fantastic Four, and one of the things I think is because of that post-credit scene is that when the leader goes,
Other people.
other people coming in, are they mentioning? Is he mentioning the Fantastic Four? Is he mentioning the Fantastic Four and what? Because remember, they're in a different universe. If they come to the MCU universe, I forgot the number again on that. The 616 universe, I think.
Yes, it is.
So if they come into the 616 universe, are they bringing along Galactus?
I have a funny feeling that's what's going to happen.
And I think maybe that's what the leader's talking about. So it's like but he didn't see it. He just calculated it. So like that to me is like, well, you could be the smartest person in the world, but you're basically trying to predict a future that you really don't see.
Exactly.
So I'm kind of that's another one of those little tidbits where it's like, that doesn't make sense. Just because
That's a kind of vague.
Right. It's very vague, and it's also like just because you're that smart and well, here's what I'll say: if he was that smart, he wouldn't have gotten caught the way he did
Exactly.
in the movie, right?
Yeah.
But he's like, oh, I have seen all these predictions, or I have seen all these something like that.
Yeah.
And something is coming. And I'm like, okay. I mean, look, Doctor Strange, he looked into like how many possible, futures,
Multi-millions of
multi-millions or something like that. So because he has that power.
Yeah.
But how is he looking into that kind of future? How is he predicting that?
Yeah.
So that's why that post-credit scene, well, I was like, oh, okay, I think they're talking about Fantastic Four. I don't know.
When I looked at the post-credit scene, I was like, that's kind of a bit vague and ominous, and that's all it is.
That's all it is.
And I'm like, okay, all right. That I was expecting something different. It's like, it's like Jar Jar Binks coming out at the end of the end credits of a Star Wars movie. It's me, everybody. Look at me.
Like I said, I don't know. I just feel like I thought they were gonna maybe hint at some. I didn't think they were gonna. I thought they were gonna
hint at something big for another movie, but they didn't. I think they're afraid to do that now because of it.
But that's what we look forward to. I mean, when the MCU first started, that was the whole thing about these post-credit scenes was that
it gave you hope for another movie, like Thor with the hammer, or with the one that we didn't see with Fury coming out and talking to Stark and talking about mutants, a kid who could walk on walls and spin webs and things of that nature.
Where was that?
Oh, you don't remember that? That was a long deleted scene that never came out.
Oh, okay. So it's a deleted scene. No,
yeah.
but he does look. If you think about it, like, so you have Fury mentioned the Avengers Initiative,
yes,
right, which got people so excited.
Right.
Then in the post-credit scene, like you said, all of a sudden you see Thor's hammer, and you see one of the agents in Agent Coulson saying, "We found it," or something like that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But that it's Thor.
But it was referencing, just like Captain Marvel with the beeper at the end of Infinity War, and then we got Captain Marvel the following year before
right. So
Endgame.
So there's always that little hint of, oh, here's something big. Right.
Correct.
I remember. Right. I remember when in Infinity War, you see the little beeper, the little beeper type of thing, and
Yeah,
you
and it has the
saw,
colors and everything.
and you saw the Captain Marvel logo and everything. You go, oh, cool, Captain Marvel.
correct.
But those post credit scenes have like stopped like that,
Yeah.
and I think they stopped. They stopped definitely after Endgame
Yes, they have.
because they just didn't know, I think, what direction they were going towards. Because
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody at work today about it, and he was talking about like how Bruce Campbell was so cool that I was like, I thought that was the most stupid scene of him beating himself, and then towards the end he goes, "Oh, it stopped." And while it's a very Sam Raimi thing to do,
It was.
it's not a Marvel thing to
It's
do.
not a Marvel thing. They didn't hint at anything.
And nothing.
Yes.
So that's what I've seen. I've seen those post credit scenes that are just not really hinting at something that should be. Oh,
They don't-
here's the next big thing.
It's as if Marvel doesn't have the plan yet.
It's like Marvel's just lost their balls. That's what happens, So
It's like they need Favreau back at the helm. Feige did a great job at producing, but with all the stuff that was going on between the guy who played Kang and everything else, where they were trying to lead everything, and then you had Kathleen Kennedy involved, and then you had the head of Disney involved. Put everything in Feige's hands and then let Favreau to give direction. Favreau's not in charge of anything anymore too much. He's not in charge of the Mandalorian anymore.
no,
Let him.
he is actually, well, he is. Isn't he doing the Mandalorian movie? I think he is.
He's doing the movie, but the thing is that he
Well,
was
he's
doing
kinda
the
busy.
TV show.
He's kind of busy. So
He's kind of busy, but he could throw his ideas everywhere. He's kind of gold.
I mean, Hollywood doesn't work that way. I mean, listen,
I know.
you get an executive producer credit because somebody came to you and says, "Hey, what do you think of this?" And you tell them, "Well, I think this is where you need to go." And it's like, yeah, we're not going to do that. I might take 1% of what he said. Well, that's an executive producer, credit.
Exactly.
It's
That
all
is true.
bullshit out there,
My recommendation would be put it in the hands of the Russo brothers, give them a job. And I thought of that right away after Endgame.
They don't do much. Let
They
me tell
don't
you,
do-
and I'm
do
sorry,
much at
and
all.
I'm sorry to say that a lot of their movies that they have come out with,
Mm.
besides the MCU, haven't really worked.
No, they
it's
haven't.
So I mean, they know this subject matter very well. It's just,
They do.
you know who I would like to see, just so they could piss off everybody in the world?
Who?
Zack Snyder do a Marvel movie.
That would be interesting. I would love to. They already lost Gunn, so
Yeah.
Gunn's a part of the DCU. And it'll be funny because now Gunn's gonna take over, and that Superman movie is gonna be like, yeah, we beat your ass, Marvel.
let me tell you something. I do not have a lot of high hopes for that Superman movie. It's just me.
I don't either. I'm interested. I want to go see it in the theater.
Oh, I'll
but
see it, but there's just something about it that just I don't know.
it's the trunks. I know.
Yeah. I hate Trunks on a superhero, especially in live action. It's just a grown ass man in his underwears outside of his leotards.
Yep.
That's all it is. And I don't care. I don't care who you are out there. Look at somebody cosplaying with their underwear outside and tell me that doesn't look silly. I don't care how comic accurate it is. It's still a man with his underwears outside.
Yeah. It's like a bad porno film, everybody. Look at me. I'm wearing the trunks.
It just looks like underoos, or whatever.
It is. I do agree. And oof. All right. I think we talked this subject into the ground.
I think so.
But we did have somebody send some information because they got to see it too. Steve couldn't be on, but he sent some thoughts. Rob, you tell me if you could hear it, and then we'll listen to it.
All right, go ahead.
Hey, panelers, it's Steve. I did watch Captain America Brave New World today. I liked it. Not my favorite Captain America movie, not my favorite Avengers movie, I'll say that much. I really thought Harrison Ford did a great job. I really enjoyed it. There were a few slow spots for me where there was just a lot of dialogue, and I drifted off a couple times in the theater because I just wasn't feeling well and I was tired today. So, but like I said, overall, I liked it. I'm excited to see where they're going to take this. I like seeing a Captain America who doesn't have the super soldier serum in him, and him appreciating that scene between him and Bucky was great, where Bucky said, it's not because Cap made them believe, but you give them something to aspire to. I thought that was really, really great. And also just the inclusion of Bucky, that quick cameo and that little jibe about your speechwriters do that for you. I'm going to be excited to see how Bucky transitions from this run to the Senate to what we're going to see in the Thunderbolts. I wonder where this movie takes place, if it's before or after the events of Thunderbolts, because the theater I was in did show the Thunderbolts trailer before this movie started. So I'm, again, excited for that one. Can't wait to see all those characters together. Red Guardian, Yelena, Taskmaster, Ghost, and obviously the Winter Soldier all together. So, but yeah, I really loved it. I thought, again, there was a couple slow spots for Captain America: Brave New World. The Tim Blake Nelson did a great job. That makeup job they did on him and with his head was gruesome. But can't wait to see where they're going to take this, because he said, who are the others that are coming? So again, thanks, panelers, and I will see you on the next panel.
All right, cool. Yeah.
Wait, they showed a trailer at his movie theater? You see, I'm pissed because I miss 8 minutes of the movie.
I didn't get the Thunderbolts. I literally just got whatever that little sneak peek of the Fantastic Four, and it wasn't even a real trailer. So he lives out in Oklahoma, everybody. Rob and I live on the East Coast. I work in Connecticut, but I live in New York. But I went to Connecticut. I went to Danbury, where I work out of normally. But even still, Rob normally goes to where we used to work in Danbury. Did you go see it at the AMC Theater?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Yeah, because we didn't get that. It's like, okay.
Not at all.
All right. So
I believe it or not, so I had like an email that they send you. It's like, oh, how was your experience at AMC? And I was like, terrible. I did not get trailers, so I was late to the movie. I let them have it really bad.
Did you get your keychain?
What keychain?
Oh, you didn't know about that? The premiere night of Captain America: Brave New World. You're supposed to get a keychain?
I didn't even get that. The hell, man?
Yeah, because it's premiere night, and if you got AMC rewards and all that stuff, you're supposed to get a keychain, dude.
Did not get that.
It looks like the Captain America shield, and on the back it says Captain America: Brave New World.
Oh. All right. Yo, no, I got cheated so bad. And I honestly, let me tell you, I got cheated so bad, and it was because I could have made it actually a lot earlier, but if it wasn't because the cops were actually blocking off some road that I had to take a detour. So I would have been there probably about 8 minutes early.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the detour, I was 8 minutes late. So I blame the cops.
Awesome. All right. Well, blame the police.
Yeah, I mean, there's something else I could say about the police, but I won't say that. Right. Actually, they always put their, they're always
on your side.
No, on my side. I don't know about my side, but that being said, they do serve the public, so
they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Steve decided, because I asked him on earlier. Actually, after I got out of the theater, I texted him saying, "Hey, you want to come on?" And it's like, "No, I can't." So what I'm gonna say here is, since he sent in some feedback, leave some feedback if you like about this. What your thoughts? This is kind of like an instant reaction. This is going up the 15th, which is Saturday. We're doing this on Valentine's Day because me and Rob don't have any Valentine's, apparently.
Even if I did, I don't believe in it. I
I
don't
know.
even call it Valentine's Day. I just call it Hallmark Day.
It pretty much is. Yeah, that is true. It's like gift giving day. It's like, all right, she's sucking the blood out of my life. So, okay.
Wow. Okay, I wasn't even going there, but okay.
Or they, male, who knows, whatever. But
Wow.
I always think of it as happy blood thumper day. Blood
Oh my
pumper.
God.
But
You are just digging that hole more and more.
I am. All right. But Steve sent in some feedback. Like, you could always send any kind of feedback. We could be found on Facebook, facebook.com/panels to pixels. What's on Facebook is on Instagram. So obviously I did post a picture. So I'm letting you guys know that you could leave a comment in the image below, letting us know your thoughts. But if you haven't, but which is fine. I understand that people are busy. But if you have any thoughts after the fact, you can still do so. Just follow that. I could get it on Instagram Messenger or even Facebook Messenger as well, or still get those comments. You could email us at panels2pixels1@gmail.com. Panels2 is spelled out to pixels number 1@gmail.com. Write out a regular texted email. We'll read it the next time we're on. And you could easily record yourself and send that as an attachment. We could do that. We could be found on YouTube as well. Just look and search for Panels to Pixels podcast. Subscribe. Please give a thumbs up and ring the bell to be notified if anything else comes along. We do get comments and we do read them when we get them next time. So it could be from a previous or this particular one, and we'll read it the next time we're on and recording. We could be found on Instagram at Panels to Pixels podcast. And just like, what Steve did, he just sent in his voicemail through an email as an attachment. Be found on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. There's going to be rating a review. Please give us a 5-star if it's that's all we ask. And
That's all he's asking for.
That's all I'm asking. Just get us notified. The best way to get us actually noticed too is along with the 5 stars is actually making a comment, because people do actually read comments, and I will actually read your comment too. So if you leave one, to be greatly appreciated. But that's how you could send us feedback and follow us along, as always. But that's about it. But for where else listeners can hear you, Rob, obviously
Nowhere, because I quit. That's right.
Nah, he was working on something. He's going to be making a comeback probably in the near future. So, but he could be
right now things are on hold. Just trying to figure some stuff out, personal life and things like that. But that being said, you probably will hear me here and there, on this show or maybe another one. But for now, I'm just kind of like taking it easy,
having fun.
From the podcasting world.
Yeah, but like like I always say, it's like Rob's got a home here, or where else am I? Adrenaline Cinema Podcast as well. You could hear me there as well, and we're doing more. I think the last should be out soon enough would be Lethal Weapon 2. Steve and I actually did cover Lethal Weapon 2, and it only took about 5 years to get from Lethal Weapon 1 to Lethal Weapon 2.
Is it true they're doing another Lethal Weapon?
That's been in the talks for the past 2 or 3 years, and since Donner is dead, he left it in the hands of Mel Gibson, and they really want to do it. Gibson and Glover really want to do it, and
I just don't like.
The last one didn't intrigue me because it had Chris Rock and it was a whole family thing.
I didn't even mind that, but it was at a time where and I'm not putting anyone down because they're older, but how?
I don't think Danny Glover could actually do what he used to do, because
exactly. And don't get me wrong. Maybe they're passing it to a new generation, which of course it's such a cliche thing. It's like, oh, here's a new generation for Lethal Weapon.
Exactly.
I don't know. That's going to be very interesting to see that, because I just don't know how they're gonna pull that off.
Yeah, it's been in production hell for the past 3 years.
Okay.
And since the fact that Donner has passed away since that time, because there was talks of him coming back and doing a Goonies too with the kids and Goonies because he was part of that whole thing. that
But
and
you
they're
know
looking.
what? Steven Spielberg, who was behind all that stuff, his ass is still alive. All right. And instead of him doing stuff like the Fablemans, maybe he should be doing some stuff like the Goonies.
I think
So
that that's a possibility too, because there's
don't
been
get me wrong, people. I like the movie The Fablemans a lot.
yeah.
I'm just saying that, as he's getting older, he's doing all these serious movies. It's like, hey, man, try to get back to like what you originally did. That was a lot of fun.
Well, as we covered the Goonies on Adrenaline Cinema podcast, I will let you know, Rob, that actually Spielberg did take on the camera work a little bit on the Goonies, even though it was a Donner film. He did a few scenes
Listen,
because he was a producer.
so here's the whole thing about that whole group of people.
Oh, wait. You're talking about them.
Them. And what I mean by them, I mean like Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, and all that stuff. Every time they do some kind of movie, or at least in the past, they somehow all of a sudden, like let's say George Lucas was like second unit director for something, or Steven
Yeah.
Spielberg on it was
And
like
it doesn't even take the credit. It's
they
just
don't
like,
even take the credit for it, so
they're just like, I just want to play with the toys.
yeah, I mean, look at Poltergeist. So Poltergeist, yes, it was directed by somebody else, or
Toby Hooper.
right, but technically it was really Steven
Spielberg.
Spielberg.
It was Spielberg. Toby
Yeah.
Hooper was there, and they took him. They're like, oh, okay, we're gonna let the guy who did the Texas Chainsaw Massacre do this Steven Spielberg produced movie, but Steven Spielberg's really gonna come in and direct a bunch of like scenes.
Yeah, no, it's like, no, dude, I'm sorry, but you're not convincing me there. But yeah, no, that yeah, I just kind of wish he kind of did something really, really cool that kind of harked back to like
Jaws.
well, yeah. Oh, listen, we've seen Jaws 2, 3, 4, and 5, and they all sucked.
No, I meant the original.
Yeah.
Originally
No, but I
portrayed.
just think that if he did something to pull at our heartstrings,
Yeah.
and do the awe and wonder that he was always so good for,
Yeah.
that would be great.
Like E.T.
E.T. or like
Close Encounters.
closing what Jurassic Park.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the movies that just kind of like, holy crap. Don't get me wrong. I still enjoyed the hell of a lot of his movies that came out after that era. But there was just like that era, there was that time where like
After Saving Private Ryan, he got to the point of being seriousness. And literally he was doing what was Schindler's List and Jurassic Park at the same time. He was
yeah, it's just
producing
that,
both at the same time. So that's when he got serious and still creative at the same time as a producer.
like even Ready Player One, which a lot of people criticize because it wasn't exactly like the book. I don't care. I never read the book, but
Same here.
it still didn't leave me with that wow. Like you come out of it like, I can't believe I just saw something so amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe it's me, but like it's been very hard for those
that wow factor.
that wow factor
Yeah.
of I never seen that before.
Yeah. It's
And-
almost like with the Marvel, the MC universe as well.
Once Endgame stopped, like once Endgame was over,
The wow factor
the
was
wow
not
factor
there.
on everything else just wasn't there. I
And-
mean,
And then now I think it's upholding to the point of DC, because the last movie DC put out of that world was Aquaman 2. And that was finished up before the pandemic and released just after the pandemic.
Right.
So now it's a new world and a new universe. So Gunn's involved with it, and he's the new
Right.
Kevin Feige of that.
here's
So-
what, like I said, here's what I think they should do. Right. So
Yeah.
you bring Zack Snyder, right? You bring Quentin Tarantino,
Oh my goodness.
Spike Lee,
Oh yeah,
You bring in all these controversial
heavy hitters.
heavy hitters and you go do your thing.
Carte
We don't
blanche. It could be rated R. Everybody.
It could be rated R. We don't care. If you want to reinvent the freaking wheel, go ahead. Don't care. Watch the entire Marvel universe of fans just literally blow up.
They poop their pants. The best was like when somebody said to me, what would you do if you were able to watch a Star Trek movie that Quentin Tarantino had done? I said I would watch that in a heartbeat.
I'm wondering how he would do that because he was interested in doing it.
Yeah,
but
he was
wonder how
looking to
would-
do that. He really wanted to do
he
like a
wanted to
rated
do
R
it,
version.
and I'm wondering how that would have gone. I mean, it could have been great if he would have had Samuel L. Jackson in it.
Oh, it'd been great.
Every day I'd be watching that movie. Every day.
He'd be the captain.
By the way, have you been watching the new Spider-Man movie?
Oh yeah, Friendly
in
Neighborhood
Disney?
Spider-Man. Yeah, I want to cover the whole season at the end of
I thought that they were going to do like an episode every week. No, it's like 4 episodes every week.
yeah.
It's like they did what? Like they're up to episode 12 or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's amazing. I have to play catch up. That's why I'm just doing it as a whole end of season wrap up. And
Yeah,
that's
no,
it.
it's actually not bad. What I find interesting about that whole show, and I know that you'll cover it, but what I find interesting on that whole show is that they do mention a lot of the stuff that happened in the MCU,
Yes, but it's a different universe.
but the Spider-Man in this universe is not the same Spider-Man as that universe.
Exactly.
Which is really interesting. Yeah,
It is
so-
interesting. I love that too because it's very similar in storylines. Like, wait a minute, they talked about Civil War. What
They
the hell?
talked- Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, aren't you supposed to be over there?
He was supposed to be there. He was there.
Yeah,
and then it's like Osborn is black.
which I don't care.
I didn't
mean,
care. I thought that was
yeah.
a creative, a really great creative
No,
part of it.
I think it's actually very well done in the sense of it has a bit of a comic book look to it.
Yes.
I mean, it's still kind of what I would say. You can see that it's CG. But
yeah.
they're trying to give it that comic book look, which is not bad. But no, I'm actually very entertained by it. I look forward to it all the time.
Yeah. I enjoy it. I like to throw it on. If I haven't watched a few episodes, I'll leave it on and then I'm like, oh wow, this is awesome. I'm like, I love how the fact that Harry Osborn is all into media and everything, and then
Right.
he gets Peter involved, and then one of Peter's best friends is Tombstone of all things. And it's just like, wow, okay, this is pretty cool. This is different.
Yeah, no, they're taking kind of I mean, well, all those. I think every time they do an animated series, they kind of do all these sideways things or these alternative origins, which but people don't mind it. People are like, oh, okay, it's just animated. You do that in a movie and people lose their shit. Right.
Yeah.
But no, it's so far I like it. So far it's been pretty entertaining, and I'm hoping that they keep going with it. I just don't know what else is going to be coming out in Disney Plus next.
Oh, Daredevil. Born Again.
When is that coming out though? March? Okay.
So that we're gonna cover that. So it's something that I plan on covering weekly. So that's the next step. And there's like a few more. Right now we're covering Invincible. Jamie and I are covering Invincible. That's on Amazon Prime.
Okay. Did you talking about Invincible this season? Holy crap.
Mm-hmm.
That's what season 2 should have been.
That's exactly what season 2 should have been. It's like the writing, they stepped it up big time. In the last 2 episodes, it's like, what the?
Dude, I sat there and I was like, what? I was just so into it because last season, honestly, it left me going, well, am I going to continue watching this?
Snooze fest. You felt it was a snooze
Yeah.
fest? Okay.
And all of a sudden, I was like, oh, wait, they just stepped it up. Awesome.
They pulled the wheel chocks and let the car roll. yeah, they did it.
Yeah, I'm actually very looking forward to that. I just did a little search on what's coming up next on Disney Plus. And so yeah, you were saying Daredevil Born Again, Ironheart is also coming out.
Yeah, even though that at one point was going to be canceled, but yeah.
I just don't understand that. I personally don't understand that character, but whatever. I'm not trying to be mean or nothing.
I know.
Whatever. But yeah, no, it's that's about it. I mean, they don't have much coming out. I thought they did.
They kind of dialed it back a little bit because of all the backlash and everything, especially with a lot of the Disney Plus stuff. As you recall, when we covered Secret Invasion, it kind of bombed out, and there was like other shows that people are just like, oh, I don't like that, and it just they realized they were putting too much into the system that people are like, oh my god, I'm overloaded. And the only thing that came out recently that people did enjoy was Agatha Harkness, Agatha All Along, and that took a long while, and that was a spinoff of WandaVision. But before then, it was like Secret Invasion. You had Falcon and the Winter Soldier. You had Hawkeye. Hawkeye was actually pretty decent, and they had other shows like that, and they were just trying to like. They were squeezing the juice out of whatever they can to get more content out there, and they realized more is not the best. Quality is better.
Right.
It's quality over quantity now. So I think that's what Feige was doing, and he dialed it back. So that's why we're only getting like 2 Marvel films a year rather than
three this year, because it's we just got Captain America. The next one is Thunderbolts, and then there's going to be Fantastic Four. So
yeah, so they're not trying to pump out 4 or 5 of them in 1 year. They're trying to, and a lot of these were already done in the bag. Like I think Captain America: Brave New World was slated before 2025.
It was slated. It was slated for last year.
Yes,
and then it got pushed to this year.
It got pushed, and then there were reshoots up until the very end because they were scrambling because they were afraid that it wasn't gonna do well or be received as well because of what happened last year.
Right.
And so I think that's why they delayed it a little bit. I was surprised that we got Fantastic Four even this year. They kind of.
I think a lot of people, been waiting. A lot of people have been waiting for that, and they've been hoping that the MCU does it justice. And it's funny because I have said this for a long time, even before Fantastic Four went back to the MCU, which is if they do a Fantastic Four movie, it should be done as a period piece.
Yes.
And that's exactly what they did. And I'm so happy about that. So, by the way, Endor 2, we don't even know when that's coming out, but that's supposed to come out.
Andor?
From
that's for Star Wars.
The Star Wars, yeah. So we don't even know when that's supposed to come out, but I thought it was going to come out this year. I guess it's not.
Probably they're probably holding off just to get the writing right. Who knows? They're trying not to push too much because some of the Star Wars. Look at what happened with the Acolytes and.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I'm like, I think they started to realize it's like we got to listen to the fans, and then it's like, okay, we pushed this a little bit too much and made it a machine. We can keep pumping it out.
I'm reading this that the second season was initially set to drop in 2024, but because of the Hollywood strikes, it's probably being pushed to this year. But I haven't seen any kind of mentions or anything like that when it's going to start this year.
I don't know when D23 usually is, but that's usually when they do it. When
they announce their stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, not to keep you guys listening any further and keep us rambling as we sound like we just talk in a casual conversation that Rob and I do. That was our show. I just want to thank everybody for listening. I'm Mark.
And I'm Rob.
Same podcast, different panel, different pixel. And this was Panels to Pixels podcast. And we'll see you guys on the next panel. Goodbye, everybody.
See ya.